morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are hearing me from. Welcome to another section with Mem Tutu. Today we are going into the second topic of paper 2, and that topic is management of tangible asset. Management of tangible asset. Now, what is tangible asset? Tangible assets are also known as fixed assets. They are assets acquired by the business not for resale, but for regular use and then for the daily operation of the business in order for the business to generate profit. So when we talk of tangible assets, we say the business buys asset into the company in order to generate what? Profit. So asset is a form of investment. Okay, example of tangible assets that we have land and building, we have vehicles, and we have equipment. These are the common three fixed assets that we look into when it comes to grade 12. Tangible assets such as vehicle and equipment will reduce in value as a result of wear and tear. And then from the daily use, which is also known as depreciation. Now, when we talk of equipment and vehicle, the more we use this asset, the more they reduce in value. I give a quick example. I bought a car last year for 250,000. That will be the cost of the car when it is still brand new. I bought a car for 250,000 rand, brand new last year. Now, I used that car from last year till December, from January till December. You will all believe with me that if I decide to sell that same car in the month of December, knowing that I have used this car for 12 months, if I am to sell this car, I would not sell this car for 250,000. Meaning, I will have to sell that car less than 250,000. Let's say I was able to sell the car for 220,000. It means from 250,000, which is the cost price, the car has reduced in value to the tune of 220,000. So the difference between 250,000 and 220,000, which is 30,000, becomes my depreciation. And why is that? Because the car is no longer new, it is now a second hand. So we have our vehicle, our equipment, they do reduce in value. But when we talk about land and building do not depreciate in value, but it will rather appreciate in value. I give a quick example. You buy a land somewhere in Johannesburg. Let's say you bought this land in 1992. Yes, that place might not have been developed, but that same land you bought probably for 70,000 rand in 1992, by the time you are selling it today, you are going to be talking about millions of rand, meaning the value of the land has appreciated. And then that is as a result of development and what have you. Now, there are some concepts unique to tangible assets. There are certain concepts you should familiarize yourself with when we talk about tangible asset. The first of it is depreciation. I have just explained depreciation. We said depreciation is the reduction in the cost of an asset, in the value of an asset. And that reduction is as a result of daily use, which leads to wear and tear. And then we have what we call accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation, we said it is the total amount of depreciation deducted from an asset from since the time of acquisition. What do we mean? we bought an asset in 2018. We used that asset from 2018 to 2019. Obviously, the asset will depreciate. And again, from 2019 to 2020, the asset keep reducing in value. Now, when I add all the amount of my depreciations together, then we say the depreciation is accumulating. So accumulated depreciation is the total amount of depreciation of an asset from the time it was acquired till date. Then we have what we call the carrying value, or what we call the book value of an asset. Now, like I said to you, an asset will have one cost price. The cost price of the asset will be the price of the asset when it was new. But an asset will change value over time. And this is because the asset will keep reducing in value as a result of usage. So when we talk about the book value or the carrying value of the asset, we are saying the cost price of the asset minus the accumulated depreciation of that asset till the day we are probably selling off the asset, or till the day we are calculating for the net book value of the asset. So when we talk of net book value, we're saying the value of the asset as at now, the present market value of an asset now is the net book value. And how do we get that? I said the cost price minus its accumulated depreciation. Then we talk about the age of an asset. The age of an asset. Every asset has their age. You find out that if you have used an asset for 2 years, then you say this asset is 2 years old. An asset can be 5 years old. So the number of years we have used the asset will be the age of the asset. Then we talk about the replacement rate. The replacement rate of the asset. It refers to how often the business determines to replace a fixed asset. How often do we determine to replace a fixed asset? Is it once every 5 years? Is it twice every 10 years? It could even be once every year. So the replacement rate of an asset talks about how often do a business want to replace its asset. Then we have what we call replacement value of the asset. The replacement value of the asset. We are saying when a fixed asset has been replaced, the business needs to look if it's worth it. Whatever you are using to replace an asset, you have to know, oh, will this new asset be able to do the work of the former asset? So the value of the new asset now will be the replacement value of the asset. How much are we willing to pay to replace this old asset? And then we also have the lifespan of an asset. The lifespan of an asset. It is the estimated length of time the asset is supposed to use. The estimated length of time we are supposed to use the asset. Some assets have a lifespan of 5 years. So the estimated length of time that we are supposed to use an asset will be the lifespan of the asset. Very quickly, let us look at asset register. Asset register. I am trying to lay a foundation today. Asset register. What is an asset register? It is the list of assets that belongs to a business or an entity. The list of the assets that belongs to a business or an entity. The reason for an asset register is for accountability. Now, the purpose of an asset register is to keep track of the book value of the asset, also to determine the depreciation of the asset, and also how to manage the asset in case of for taxation purpose. So we have what we call asset register. Every asset must be in the asset register. Every asset belonging to an entity is required to be in the asset register. Now, what are the details? What do we record in the asset register? What are the details of the records in the asset register? Number one, we record the date of purchase of the asset. When did we buy this asset? So the date of purchase of the asset must be recorded in the asset register. The cost price, the historical price of the asset, which is the cost price of the asset, must also be stated in the asset register. The details of the seller, the details of the seller, the type of asset or model. If it has a type, the type, or if it has a model, we write the name of the model, the serial number of the asset, the receipt or invoice number, the invoice or receipt that we receive when purchasing the asset. The number must be in the asset register. The rate of depreciation. The rate of depreciation. Oh, it's going to depreciate by 20% fixed cost method or 15% diminishing balance method. So the rate of depreciation must be included. The book value of the asset per time must be recorded in the fixed asset register. The life expectancy, for how long do we expect to use this asset? For how long do we expect to make use of this asset? The life expectancy must also be recorded in the fixed asset register. The method of depreciation. What method are we using to depreciate this asset? Are we using the fixed straight line method, or we are using the diminishing balance method? And then the amount of depreciation should also be stated, as well as the accumulated depreciation. That is me for now. The next episode, we are going to be looking into depreciation, and then we consider the two methods of depreciation. Till then, if you have any question, please feel free to send your question through the YouTube page or YouTube channel that is displayed on your screen, or through the WhatsApp number displayed on your screen. Till then, that is me. Bye for now.